Um, our team has been getting better. And I saw it through the Iowa State games and the Kansas State games. I saw it, even though we didn't win, but I saw improvement. I saw positive things. And tonight I thought was a product of us getting better each and every day. It was a product of maybe the only positive thing out of the schedule we've played, as a product of that. It was a product of our team staying positive, not slumping their shoulders or, wallowing in misery and being negative. We come to work every day. They having good, hard practices, and after games, really, when we haven't won, really focusing on what we did wrong to get better and not being negative. They want to win worse than anybody anywhere, and they get disappointed when they haven't won, but they haven't chose to be negative. And that's what I've liked about this team, the guys that have stuck together. No question, it's a good win for our basketball team. As I told our guys, not like we've accomplished the world or anything, but it's a good win, no question, no question. I'm so proud of them because, we've been through a lot and still will go through a lot. There's going to be tough days even ahead, but this was a great win from a bunch of guys who decided to look at the glass full than half empty the past 3, 4, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months. And I think that's very, very shows a lot about them, and I'm very proud of every guy in that locker room who decided to to continue to play hard and be positive. LeBron played at a very high speed tonight, very high gear. All his moves were a little bit more explosive. Everybody's going to look at his 27 points, but his defense was better than his offense. And it's not a coincidence when you stay after shoot around and you work hard while everybody else goes to pregame meal and you get shots up like LeBron did. It's not a coincidence that you play better. It's not a coincidence that in practice yesterday he says, "Coach, I'm going to be ready tomorrow," and he has a good practice yesterday. It's not a coincidence that when you play great defense that it mentally gets you into the game when you're playing defense, and when you're mentally in the game and you're working on your defense and you're really concentrating on defense that the ball falls for you. So those are all great lessons for him to learn, but his defense was really, really good tonight. And tonight LeBron was alternating between the 3 and the 4, which is not easy to do in our system because they're totally 2 different spots. And he did a great job defensively from going from guarding one guy to a different guy, and then on our offenses, going from one spot to the next spot. He made a lot of good one-on-one plays when we needed them. A lot of good one-on-one, what I call the X factor. When plays don't work, somebody's going to have to do something. And he did something.
The team didn't let up from the first half going into the second, but particularly after the technical was called on Markel, the second one, they didn't let up again there either. Keaton Page said you talked to them about not letting up. What did you say?
Well, we made a big basket coming out of the technical. I think we scored the next trip, man. I think they made their free throws and we scored the next trip. We still cut it to whatever it was. And, coming out of halftime, they made a run on us. And we talked about that. But when at the first time out, I told our guys, I looked at it and said, guys, they are the second-ranked team in America. They're going to make a run on you. They're going to go on a run at some point. Now, are you going to decide to look at the scoreboard, or are you going to keep doing what you did the first half and keep playing hard? Because we got out of our element the first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half. The first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half, we had some guys trying to do it on their own. We had several turnovers, and it led to very quick points for them. And I said, that's not what made us successful the first half. But with that said, there's a reason they're the second-ranked team in the country. They're really, really, really good. And you got to expect that. And I told them, we're at home. We're at home. We will go on a run of our own at some point if you'll just hang in there and quit turning the ball over. And we did that from that point. And after the technical, I wasn't happy with Markel at all. And he was the first guy when we walked in the locker room to apologize to all the players, and I didn't ask him to do that. He was very sincere about it, and I still really don't know exactly what he did, but I wasn't happy with him. But I didn't think that was going to be the defining moment. I didn't. As a player and as a coach, and I've been around long, you get a feeling. I felt at that point we would get back in the game. I knew we would get back. Now, you never know if you're going to win or lose, but I knew we'd get back where that play was not going to be the deciding factor. And I told our team that don't wallow in what's happened in the past. Yeah, I told them about that every time out. I only had to do that a couple timeouts because we only had a couple bad stretches. But don't worry about the past. Worry about what you can do to affect the future. And guys made big plays, offensively and defensively. Made a lot of big plays, block shots, baskets, free throws. We made some big plays tonight. You have to beat a team like, a great team like Missouri, a veteran team like Missouri. You better make some special plays. We had some players who played their best games of their career here, a couple of guys.
Keaton and Brian and LeBron all came in here and said that the Markel play motivated them.
It might have.
Picked them up.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to put yourself in harm's way.
No.
But you said you're still not sure. Did you not get a clear explanation?
Not on the second one. I know what he did on the first. They told me he turned and told the guy, get it out of here, or take that or something. I don't know what it was. But I never quite understood. From what I understand from the player, they said he looked at him. Now, I don't know. They might have said so. The guy called technical told me what happened, but I don't remember what he said. I was moving on. But I didn't know exactly what happened. He made some spectacular plays. Yeah. But Markel's one of the most competitive guys I've ever been around. Now, that is not an excuse. And that's something we talked to him a lot about last year because it got the best of him a few times last year, or this year, a few times last year got the best of him. But he's got to channel that. I don't want to lose his competitiveness. We got to channel it. But he was very remorseful. No question. He felt bad, but he was also really glad we won. I don't know. And I do. It's not the way to motivate your team at all. Coaches do that sometimes to motivate their teams, and we do that at times. But you don't want a player to do that to motivate your team. But I do think it got us back, because they were making runs and doing stuff, and it got us. We played hard from that point, but that's not necessarily the way you want to get motivated. Oh, it was great. It was great. They deserve. We got good kids. These kids are stuck. We got good kids. They work hard. They continually have gotten better, and it was great for them to experience. Great for them to experience hard work paying off. That's, the Iowa State game was tough because they played so hard and responded from the Baylor game, and then to lose like that, I was concerned. Very concerned. I wasn't concerned after the Baylor game. I knew they would respond from that. But all that was, I think, had a role into why we were successful tonight. But it was great. I'm happier for Keaton Page than anybody.
Travis, do you have to do anything special to challenge this team to build off this win and go into
It's always a challenge. The question after we got beat by Baylor is, are you going to be able to get your team back up after a game like that? And now, the question will be, are you going to be able to get them back to where they need to be? So it's always a mind game. But we'll work on it. I talked a lot about after the game in the locker room to our guys. Yes, guys, you deserve this win. I'm so proud of you, and great win. But this is one great win. We got a game on Saturday. It's not we haven't accomplished anything that we want to accomplish yet and things like that. But our team, we need to get back to work tomorrow. We got to get back to work. But with all that said, they do need to enjoy this for what we've been through. But our team, we're still working. Probably we are who we are, and we're going to get better. And I like this team, and we're going to have some tough games, no question. We'll have some tough games, but I think I said this a couple weeks ago, I think we still have a chance to win some games too, but we'll have our share of ups and downs still. This is the nature of it. Yeah.
Your kids are coming, though, aren't they?
They have been. They have been. I would have said that if we'd lost today. They have been, for who we are and what we're built as, and what we've been through, and the schedule we've played, and different things like that. We are. This is a process. After the Iowa State game, I got everybody off the plane, just me and the players, everybody else, and I said, guys, because they were down. boy, as down as I've had a team in a long time after the Iowa State game. The Iowa State game is part of the process. The Baylor game is part of the process. All is part of the process. And it'll pay off for you eventually. I can't give you a timeline, but we'll win on a last-second shot at some point. We'll beat somebody by 20, 30 like Baylor did that. We'll get at some point. Can't tell you when, but it's all part of the process. And tonight is part of the process of guys staying positive, playing hard, believing in each other, and believing in the scouting report. Not only did they play hard tonight, but they played smart. We played one of our more better executed games to win. I'm impressed with our team tonight. For our team to go out there and beat a team that's really, really good and veterans, and I like our. I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday. Who knows? But for us to be able to, because now I doubt many people gave us much a chance tonight. I doubt it. But our guys don't pay any attention to that. I really don't think we've tried to do as good a job as we can as a coaching staff to try to get our guys just to focus on fundamentals, getting better, not worry about who you're playing, the score, or what anybody else says. We know what we're doing on the court every day in practice. We know what we're doing in film session. We know what we're doing, and I know what's happening in the games. And I have not been down. Other than the Baylor guy, I have not been down with any of our losses. Brian Williams made big plays. The play where he scored on the and one late in the game. Oh, man. That's not what you would draw up. You normally want a guy to bring it back out. You got whatever lead we had at that point in time, the clock's running down, run some time off the clock. But when you're having a game like he's having, he had the confidence to go in there and score. He made some jump shots, but he made his free throws. That was what was key. And had some huge free throws. But Brian Williams is a guy I've been high on for a long time. His intentions to go out to be his best and his intentions to try to help your team win are there every night. He's got great intentions. And I like guys I know what I'm going to get. I know what I'm going to get from him. I know he's going to play hard. And what I mean by that, I know if I got a guy I know who's going to play hard and I know his strengths and weaknesses, it's my job to put him in the right place. And I know he's going to play hard every night. He's going to make some mistakes. But he's getting some valuable experience right now as a freshman. And, he's got a chance to be very good.
It looks like they're in the second half. You tried to put Keaton and LeBron on one side of the court and give them some difficulty trying to get crowds around them.
Well, we tried to start getting LeBron the ball. We were trying to isolate him in the post a little bit. And then we had to start letting LeBron bring the ball up the court because Keaton started cramping. Keaton was cramping, and without Markell in there, who was turning the ball over a lot, but he's normally our other pretty good ball handler, other than C.J. Guerrero. So we had to put the ball in LeBron's hands a little bit to just get Keaton some rest. But, yeah, we started wanting to play some two-man games with those guys as much as we could because at that point in time, if you have the ball in those two guys' hands, something positive seemed to be happening. Thanks, guys.